Okay, here we are in the middle of Bogota. This is El Centro Andino, and about a while back there was a terrorist attack here. Now, as you can see, and I can't tape for too long, this is a very posh area of Bogota. However, there was still a terrorist attack killing, I believe, a French woman and injuring a number of people. Now, the government of Colombia has attributed the attack in this plaza here, very posh plaza, to an urban guerrilla group. Now, earlier they tried to attribute it to La FARC and ELN, but they denied it. So they're attributing it to a group called the Movimiento Revolucionario del Pueblo, the revolutionary movement for the people. Now, what's interesting about this is the problem with terrorist attacks. You never know who's involved. And they have denied it. And in fact, they have considered themselves what they call here in Colombia falsos positivos, false positives. False positives are essentially when the government or government soldiers killed innocent people, but claimed initially that those innocent people were actually part of Las FARC, which is part of the Paz y Reconciliación, the peace and reconciliation that's going on now. But what's interesting about it is they're blaming, they say, people from the movement and other groups, that they're blaming students, and students are part of the Movimiento Revolucionario del Pueblo, sorry for my español, but it's pretty interesting, but I get by fine, so that's okay, but that they're basically saying they're just using them as scapegoats. We don't know who actually did this terrorist attack in this very posh area, Chapinero, I believe, where I'm staying, of course, of Bogota. Now, as you saw in the other video, Bogota is huge. The southern part is significantly poorer than this northern part. So one of the things we have to understand is this is one of the problems with these huge cities, particularly in developing countries, where you have like almost 8 million people in Bogota. But at the same time, you have this huge divide of rich and poor. And does this help create or facilitate the movement of guerrilla warfare? The same thing happened with the FARC and ELN when they developed years ago in the 1960s. Their argument was because of governmental repression, lack of land reform, oppression by the local elites that own the farms, the haciendas, etc. But we're going to be working on this. I'm doing research on the peace and reconciliation and the use of Cuba, as a go-between between the FARC and the government, and those self relations are extremely successful. So again, I'll show you the posh area of Bogota. And I'm going to get going now because even though it's posh, there's still a lot of crime. So we're going to end here and see if we can go in and see where the bombings happened. And there's also been flowers and other things for the people who were injured and killed.